lights are out, you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing.
I know we just met, and you haven't got me quite figured out yet. I guess I'll save you some time. I got more than just one side. These worn-out boots and these scarred-up knuckles are from too much fun and from too much trouble. I wouldn't blame you if you walked away, but I really hope you'll stay. Cause I got a wild side when I'm feeling just right. Hang on, cause it's gonna be a rough ride. Get the feelings that I just can't hide. When it comes out at the wrong time, I got a wild side, 10 feet tall and it's double wide. I get the feeling that you just might like to meet my wild side. I heard the preacher's words, I put God and family first, but sometimes turning that other cheek, it's just too much for me. I know what you think you see when you're staring right through me. You might get a surprise, cause I've got another side. I got a wild side when I'm feeling just right. Knuckles are from too much fun and from too much trouble. I know we just met, and you haven't got me quite figured out yet. I guess I'll save you some time. I got more than just one side. These worn-out boots and these scarred-up knuckles are from too much fun and from too much trouble. I wouldn't blame you if you walked away, but I really hope you'll stay. Cause I got a wild side when I'm feeling just right. Hang on, cause it's gonna be a rough ride. Get the feelings that I just can't hide. When it comes out at the wrong time, I got a wild side, 10 feet tall and it's double wide. I get the feeling that you just might like to meet my wild side. I heard the preacher's words, I put God and family first, but sometimes turning that other cheek, it's just too much for me. I know what you think you see when you're staring right through me. You might get a surprise, cause I've got another side. I got a wild side when I'm feeling just right. Hang on, cause it's gonna be a rough ride. Get the feelings that I just can't hide. When it comes out at the wrong time, cause I got a wild side, 10 feet tall and it's double wide. I get the feeling that you might like to meet my wild side.
Welcome to the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, and round number 6 of Oh, goody. Round number 6 of the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Saturday Night Fever now. Sorry.
Yep.
Force a habit. Round number 6, the Dunder Mifflin 250 here from Pocono Raceway in lovely Long Pond, Pennsylvania. I'm George Passo. He's Matt Metler, and joining us right now is the Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here in the iSNF Series, Miss Rhea Ferris. Rhea, always a pleasure to have you in the booth with us.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you guys as well. Hopefully you had a chance to stop by Shroot Beet Farms and grab some snacks before the event kicks off here in the Dunder Mifflin 250.
If you look over in that bag in the corner, you'll see 50 whoopie pies from the Smorgasburg over there in Reading.
Gotcha.
Not anymore. I took 25 of them. I took half. Sorry, guys.
You dick.
I've been wanting to go to that smorgasbord for a while now. I heard it's amazing. It looks even more amazing. So you have me drooling over here, guys.
It's an absolute quarter mile of food.
I believe you.
As we're getting ready to click things over into qualifying, let's take a look at the point standings coming in tonight. Alex Rildson, Dan Solo, Josh Grosso, Angel Hernandez, and Jonas Gunnarsson rounding out your top 5. Marcus Hagman only 1 point out of the top 5 right now. He's sitting in 6th, and then we got a little bit of a drop. We got a tie for 7th between rookie Lenny Schnebel and Daniel Homer. Sorry about that. I somehow have the hiccups, and I don't know why. But with the exception of Josh Grosso in 3rd, your top 9 right now, it's an all-international affair other than Grosso. That's kind of fun to see, isn't it, Rhea?
It really is. I embrace diversity a lot in this league, and I love having different countries represented. It's almost sort of like a iRacing version of the Olympics every week here at iSNF, and I love it. And among some of those people that you mentioned, some of them are locked into the playoffs. We've had so far 5 different winners at 5 different events leading into this one, Tony. So that's a nugget to chew on. Will we see 6?
That's a good possibility as we're watching hometown hero Jeff Weimer right now in Menard's number 2. Good to see Jeff out on track, and he's got a solid one going right now. He had the fastest outlap of anybody. He's coming down the Long Pond straightaway right now on his first flyer.
Yeah, he's my teammate, and some pre-race notes from Jeff. This is his favorite track and also known as his best track as well. He does not have a win here yet. His lone win in the Cup Series is at Las Vegas, so hopefully he can get a win here at his home track. That'd be great.
Angel Hernandez goes to the top of the heap as one of the Toyota drivers, the man out of Mexico. And then you've got 5 Swedes right behind him in the form of Jonas Gunnarsson, Jesper Eriksson, Dan Solo, Kenneth Tier, and Linus Broström.
Isaac Wilson saying our stream crashed, perhaps.
We are back.
Okay.
Have no fear. We are back.
Mm-hmm.
Have no fear. Tony Trapasso is here.
If you guys can hear me, we're live.
Gotcha. But yeah, Jeff Weimer here at his home track. Hopefully he can get a win for Team Penske as well as for himself. Now, weather is definitely favorable here, Tony. Looking at track temperatures and things, it's a beautiful day for racing here in the Northeast. So, hopefully that will allow the track conditions to also play out very nicely for us.
I mean, it's got a little bit higher relative humidity than I would like to see, but all things considered, and it's a tailwind going into the tunnel turn. 7-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight down the Long Pond straight there, leading from 1 to 2. That's going to make for some good drafting and good passing opportunities there. As brother Linus Broström just blistered one.
Wow.
First one to start flirting with the sub 53 lap second times here tonight.
A little bit of track facts nuggets, guys, just to kind of chew on too along the way. We have an average of 9 cautions counting the stage breaks, which will be laps 30 and 60 tonight, guys, for FYI.
Okay.
So average of 9 cautions and 14 lead changes average as well. We've had 5 different winners among 6 different events here at Pocono. So FJ being one of those, and FJ doesn't race with us much, but he's in the field tonight, and he's the very first winner in ISNF Cup Series history to get a dub here. So be interesting to see what he can do tonight in that number 91 Shane Van Gisbergen Trackhouse machine.
Absolutely. Very sharp looking car here tonight.
Yeah, great looking paint scheme on that race car. Rhea, you said it before. He was the inaugural winner. Perhaps he's got some more in store for us here as we get ready to kick things off here. You know, getting back to the track facts, you know, defending race winner, Danny Solo.
Yes.
You know, so
he
that's
is definitely one to keep an eye out for as well. Definitely fast at this track, definitely fast at these kind of Indianapolis, Pocono, Milwaukee-esque type tracks that are shallow banking, flat with a lot of speed. Definitely finds a way to carry that momentum where a lot of us kind of struggle. I like the high banks, and I like my Las Vegas, my Dover, Bristol, Talladega type high bank ovals with a lot of elbow room. I know Bristol's not a lot of elbow room, but I had to throw that in there because of the high bank part of it. I like to carry the momentum and let the corner do it. Here, you can't. You got to be on your A game. So it's going to separate a lot of people. But look at this massive field we have, guys. This is our biggest one yet of the season. You guys are here to cover the sellout crowd. Anything above 40 to me is 100% sellout. Anything above 36 is completely 2 thumbs up from your league owner, Rhea Ferris, right here. But we have more than every charter on the field. We have everybody. So
as a matter of fact, I think we're looking at a bump spot, aren't we?
No, I don't think so. We have 60 pit stalls available. There's going to be people doubling up.
Okay, so we do have 43 drivers.
Yeah, we have 43 drivers. Yeah, but Matt Metler is not racing, so you can subtract him.
Oh, I didn't notice Metler in the thing.
Yeah, he was doing some
that.
testing earlier for everybody to try to get the SDK system all up to snuff. So I threw him in the 66 car, so the ticker looks good and the pit road looks good with an actual car on the track that's supposed to be there, and
Gotcha.
All thumbs up. And he will be doing booth control with you, Tony, and meanwhile his car will sit on pit road and probably blow an engine in the process with some smoke. If we see smoke from a distance and smoke signals, just make sure that you end up sending the smoke signals our direction to tell us about any wrecks that are happening, Matt.
10-4, Rhea. Well, I'm going to keep it fired up here in the booth and fired up down on pit road as well. Pulling double duty there for you.
Yeah, I know that happened to Tommy Stanley a lot last season when he was covering broadcasts for us. He would try to go out and run a couple laps here and there just to pick up the little car owner's points, and he would forget to shut the engine off before he would exit out. He'd come back in with a blown engine every time. Yes. So it was a very comical, ongoing Tommy Stanley situation there. But, guys, we're in for a treat. I hope and pray that we have 9 or under as far as our cautions with this many people. I can't promise anything. However, I will say that it's probably one of the best tracks to have such a huge field at. There's lots of elbow room. It's a huge spread out track. Hopefully we can get separated early on and have some good green flag racing, guys. What do you think? Do you think that's doable here?
You've done it before here.
Okay.
My first race with the ISNF on coverage, you guys did go caution-free here at Pocono, except for the stage. No, we weren't doing stage cautions at that point. So yeah, you guys went caution-free that night.
All righty.
Rhea, to your point, there's a bunch of stellar competition in the field. I mean, some of the best drivers, you know, representing multiple different countries, as you mentioned. This league all about diversity, and I love that. And get ready here to get strapped in here as we go live at Pocono from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And I'm sure all of the viewers in the live chat right here on SRM are fired up and ready to take on this high-flying action as you guys go out there and rage war out there on the Tricky Triangle. Certainly looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely hang on to your hats, boys and girls. We've got a ride to remember here tonight. Stay tuned for all the action. I'm excited to be a part of this. And as you mentioned, there's several countries. We have a lot of Swedish representation here tonight. We have Mexico, we have Canada, we have Germany, Hungary, Norway, and India, as well as Portugal. So we have plenty of international diversity in here, which one will see victory lane tonight. And stay tuned and watch. We will see you guys later on as you guys go through the starting grid. We'll do the drivers meeting. Good luck in the booth there, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rhea. As we now go to that starting grid that she was talking about, Jasper Iracing setting quick time here tonight. First one to go, or only one to go sub 53 seconds in qualifying with a 52.97 dead. Linus Broström, his countryman, going to start outside of him. It's an all-Swedish top three, and matter of fact, an all-Swedish first four rows of the inner lane, with Arilton and Francisco Villarreal going fourth quick. Jonas Gunnarsson, Josh Grosso in row number 3. Row 4, we see Dan Homer and Dan Solo. So in all, Dan row number 4 as well. A lot of things that we talked about here tonight. Brian Chu and Hazel Hernandez rolling off in row number 5. Row 6, going to see Paul Witt and Jack Jagerman. And rounding out the top half of our field, I believe, Marcus Hagman and Kenneth Tier in row number 7. Matt? We don't have Matt. Jimmy Olsen and Jeff Weimer are going to roll it from row number 8. Keep your eye on Weimer as he is a hometown hero here tonight. Heiko Müller, the second of our 2 German drivers here tonight. Charles Overton going to start with his outside, row number 9. Jared McCauley and Rosa Laszlo rolling it from row number 10. Row 11, you see Will Britton and Chris Smith, Mike Iskandar, and Mike Gervey rolling it from row number 12. Row 13 is going to give us Eugene Thorne and Jerry Parker. Tommy Stanley and Christian Delgado starting in row number 14. Row 15 is going to see Rhea Ferris and Emily Fagral. As Harish Misal out of India is going to roll it next to Isaac Wilson. Joey Maines and our Portuguese driver, Eduardo Carapato. I'm going to butcher that all night, and I do apologize, Eduardo. That is row number 17. Row 18 is going to see this Chris Van Maastricht and Paul Wilson, with Jason Bauer and Brian Treadwell and Shane Griffin in row number 19. Row 20 is going to go to Jason Bauer and Bob Wyckoff, Casey Tomlinson, and Lenny Schnebel starting shotgun on the field of our 42 starters here this evening. As just waiting for a few last-minute stragglers to get on the grid. One of whom happens to be our pole sitter, Jasper Iracing. It'd be a shame to see him throw away a sub 53 pole position time and have to pit start this piece. Matt, do we still have you with us? Hopefully we do. And we don't. Matt's having connection issues just like I was earlier. I do apologize for the stream checking out here, as we do have storms up here in upstate New York where I am. And I believe Matt's having to deal with similar issues where he is. As we are just waiting. We're still waiting on Jack Jagerman, Marcus Hagman, Isaac Wilson, Lenny Schnebel, and our pole sitter, Jasper Iracing, to all grid up. Not sure. Oh boy. No. No. There we go. There we go. Just wait on Marcus Hagman now as they're going to need to hustle it if they want to make the grid. Oh boy. Hagman's going to miss the grid. As the pace car starts to roll it, and so does the field. Here we go. The Chevy lockout of your top four. Jonas Gunnarsson in the double deuce. He's going to be your first one that is not a bow tie. He's rolling off fifth, and he's got the highest running Toyota, Josh Grosso, to his outside. As the field working its way through turn one. And another little trivia question for you here this evening. When this track was built in the late 60s, there were 3 premier IndyCar courses that this track was modeled each one of its corners after. What are the 3 courses? And for bonus points, which corner is which? As they might be extending this caution as there's still drivers coming down the Long Pond straightaway. As your leaders are already in to the tunnel turn, turn 2. And they call it that because there is actually an access tunnel underneath the track for the haulers and RVs to get into the infield from there. Iracing and Brostrom up on your front row. As they come through turn number 3, the pace car is going to pick up a little bit of pace. The only thing that's left to say is, it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the whoopie pies, because it's time to get it on in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Race fans, it's showtime!
Pace car pulls off and green flag underway from Long Pond, Pennsylvania. iSNF Cup Series invades Pocono Speedway here live on SRM as it's a double file, double stacked Noah's Ark event flying off into turn 1 for the first time today here, Tony Trapassa.
Absolutely, as the field starts to file its way through turn 1. And you can see we're almost 3 wide in some areas. Matter of fact, for third, we are 3 wide with Francisco Villarreal. Okay, so they're calling the Long Pond straight back straight tonight. Cool. Iracing, Brostrom, Villarreal, Rildson, and Grosso, your top 5 as we currently sit. Top 6 getting single filed out pretty quickly here. As they come right back onto the front stretch of Iracing going to lead us through lap 1, your pole sitter. But right now, the slugfest is between Brian Chu and Dan Homer. As I say that, Grosso and Rildson starting to really heat things up. Solo and Chu still door to door as they come down the Long Pond straightaway on lap number 2 here. 24 Solo going to slot in right behind Gunnarsson. Stan Homer working on Paul Witt right now, trying to pick that spot off of him. Homer has dropped 4. He's actually your biggest mover in the wrong direction currently. It's your biggest mover in the right direction. We got to go back here to 19th. Eugene Thorne already at +5. And he's working on Mike Iskandar right now to get +6. Battle for the lead is Brostrom working it to the inside of his fellow countryman Iracing. Oh, throws the block on FJ. Francisco Villarreal working the inside now, gets up into second, and he's looking to bring Josh Grosso with him as Brostrom caught on that outside coming through the tunnel turn. Not where you want to be at all, Matt. Battle for third between Brostrom Grosso and Iracing right now as everybody running stem to stern for the most part. Fast lap of the race currently belongs to that hometown hero, Jeff Weimer, as he went 53.17. Fastest lap of the race so far. Brostrom looks to the inside of Villarreal going into the tunnel turn. Still side by side for second place. As here comes Grosso trying to get his hat into the ring on that one. With the exception of Grosso and Villarreal, it's an all-international top 7. And you got the Swedes, Iracing and Brostrom leading this piece. Then you have Grosso, Iracing, Villarreal. Iracing being from Sweden, Grosso and Villarreal both being from the States. Gunnarsson being from Sweden, and then Angel Hernandez right there as well from Mexico. Picking them up, laying them down, and making it work here tonight at Pocono. Come on, work with me. There it goes. Finally, the ticker decides it wants to turn on. Get ready to put lap 5 in the books. As Iracing already has stretched out a full second to the good. Brostrom sits in second as he's getting hounded right now by the 54 of Grosso. And here comes Iracing. Looking on the inside of Grosso. It's not quite close enough. Grosso's going to give him room, though. This battle for third is your closest one on track right now. It's Grosso in the 54. Iracing in the 8. Another close battle going on back there with Francisco Villarreal and Angel Hernandez. Oh, we got problems towards the back. Dan Homer just got spun. Let's go back and take a look at what did happen here with the 9. So running there with the 20 of Charles Robertson. Robertson's going to look to the inside. A little Toyota and Chevy action there. And Robertson just gets up into the 9, hooks the 84 as well. Good grief. Ken Tier just took a race car to the face. Let's go ahead and take a look at what did happen with Tier. Kenneth Tier is going to give us one of the best views of this incident. The 84 bails out. And take a look from onboard Weimer's car this time. Keep your eye on the 20. The 84 in front of these guys is going to get loose coming off of 3. There he goes. And the 20 is going to pinch up into the 9 and just hook them all. And that is not what Jeff Weimer was hoping here, only on lap number 6. And you can see on Weimer's deuce, he's definitely hit. Now, the good news is we've seen it a lot of times with that front splitter getting bent like that. It actually gives the car more downforce. And a lot of drivers coming down early here. Looks like the top off with fuel as we're working lap 8. As Brian Chu electing to stay out. Interesting. Then again, it's hard to bet against Brian Chu on a super speedway track like this. As we're going to go take a look, there it is, out of Fort Myers, Florida. Both his wins have come on super speedways. As Jason Bauer out of Canada. Shelburne, Nova Scotia is where he calls home. Still considered a rookie. Only 11 starts under his belt. No wins yet. Looking to get that breakthrough here tonight at the Tricky Triangle. Again, tonight's trivia question, as we always do here, is let's jump up to the iRacing blimp and see what they're seeing. The 3 corners of this track, when Pocono was originally designed, it was modeled after 3 premier IndyCar tracks at the time. What are the 3 tracks and which corner is which for bonus points? As lights should be going out on the pace car this next time by. And that is the one good thing about Pocono is you can pit under green flag action and not go a lap down. Cody Witt pulling for Paul here tonight. Dustin's pulling for Jagerman. Willie B, always good to have you with us here tonight. Oscar, thanks for checking in. And if you're watching right now and you haven't told us who you're pulling for yet, let us know. We want to know. Brian Chu electing to take the outside lane as something's going on back here. For those of you keeping track of tire sets here tonight, everybody that did come down pit road, from what I'm seeing, everybody took fuel only. Checking in on the weather conditions as we are now under race conditions. Wind still gusting to 7 down the Long Pond straightaway, but temperature holding pretty steady under partly cloudy skies. 78-degree track temperature here at Pocono. I mean, you couldn't ask for better racing conditions here in the summertime. As lights are out on the pace car coming off of turn number 3. Chu has the button from the outside lane. Here we go. Bringing him into the Geico restart zone. And he jumps on the loud pedal and we are back underway. Of Bauer following back right now. Oh, we got one around in the back.
Yeah, one around in the back, Tony. Yellow flag back out just as soon as it went away. And it's back in the displayed here, and at the main display on the flag stand here, right at the start-finish line, as we're back under caution once again.
And I'm seeing, looks like Laszlo got a piece of it. Let's go back and see what did happen to the 77. Stack up. Those guys were stacking them up back there. And it happened in front of him. Let's see if we can figure out where that actually did happen.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tony Trapasso. That's just a classic stack up on the restart, and as you go further back through the field, that becomes more intense as it causes chaos on some of these restarts, and that looks to be the culprit.
The 41 is where it's stacked up. So let's watch that one again from Michelle. Because that's where the accordion started with the 41.
Yeah, that's how it looked here on my view too as well, Tony.
There you see the white and pink. And he just didn't go. And the 67 almost got into him. The 84 jams on the binders, and all hell breaks loose back there with the 77 and company.
Yeah, everyone hard on the loud pedal there, except for Michel there. I'm not sure what happened. If he put the pedal down, the car just didn't respond. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
What happened to Brian Treadwell here? Because he is showing that he got involved in something. Oh. Okay, the caution came out. 38 lifted, and Treadwell didn't. But, yeah, you know what? We're going to go back and take a look from Missal as we are going to go on board with him. There we go. He's in second gear. And, Matt, I don't think that's the right gear to be in on a restart, is it? Nope.
Well, again, all the leagues I race in here are fixed, Tony. When I restart at Pocono, I restart in second gear, but I can't speak in this case specifically to the 41. But something just did not go right there. As you can see, that car just did not get up to speed.
Well, let's back that up a little bit because you can see what it actually started with the 50 of Treadwell. Watch this. Treadwell's going to jam on the binders coming off of 3. So Missal was just taking evasive action and not getting involved in something, and unfortunately, Laszlo comes out on the losing end of that exchange.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, a lot of things transpired there really quick, Tony. We rack them, restack them, we grow green. You know, everyone's anticipating, everyone jumping on the loud pedal there. You know, there was a little bit of a melee there as we come under that green flag condition. The 41 takes evasive action. Others don't necessarily respond right away as they're probably going through their restart sequences and they're, you know, internally coming back up to speed. And I think that's also a byproduct of just re-racking them, restacking them, going back to green and everything not being smooth, especially with, you know, a stacked 42 car field here.
Yep, and that's the problem when you're starting that far back is you're at the mercy of whoever's in front of you when they go.
Exactly. And if there is, if there is a ill-timed restart there with someone further up through near the front of the field, the more cars you add, the more rows, that the impact of that, trickles downhill, and right where you would expect it, that it kicked off, or as you like to say, the bomb got set off there near the back, unfortunately.
Boom goes the dynamite. As right now, Linus Brostrom showing the way in the 3. He's got Alex Rilton right behind him. Jasper Eriksson running in 3rd. Angel Hernandez holding down 4th, and it is an all-international top 4 with 3 Swedes and a Mexican.
Yeah, the international drivers flexing here early, going now through that, my favorite turn here, the tunnel turn. Love hashtag full sending it through that corner. Linus Bolstrom there continues to carry the torch, and as you mentioned, that RCR driver, Alex Harrelson, he is under some heavy pressure now coming from that number 8 machine, or from the 13 machine, I'm sorry. Little side-by-side action here at the start-finish line. Take the position 8 with a bold power move there, firing up as we get ready to come into the turns 1 and 2 complex.
Well, I mean, it was on his teammate, so,
You think he just gave it to him?
Well, Brostrom was a little bit loose coming off of 4. I think he gave it to him, but he definitely threw the block on Eriksson.
And that's a great point. They are teammates, Tony. And hey, if it's friendly fire, not want to say friendly fire, but if it's early on, give and take, right? You got to have a little showmanship, a little gentleman's agreement out there, if you will. But
courtesy.
Here we go. That common courtesy, exactly. Just as we say that, here comes Bolstrom back to the inside. He wants that lead back. Get skinny. Oh, the 13 of Eriksson there almost gets a piece. How did he force that car in line? He shoves it in there right in front of the 54 at Grosso.
And Grosso is on a move right now, but your biggest mover, big shocker for this one, and I say that with all the sarcasm I can muster, a guy who is one of your biggest movers every week is going to be that 42 of Joey Maines. He likes starting towards the back, but the man out of Keego Harbor, Michigan, he's got some wins. He's got a lot of top 10s here. So Maines looking to claw his way forward as he's already cracked the top 10, sitting plus 24.
I was going to ask you if I was seeing that correctly, Tony, but you've confirmed it. 24 spots for Maines. Are you serious right now? That man is on a move.
And take a look around him. He's got Christian Delgado right behind him, who's at plus 18. Mike Iskandar is plus 12. And Eduardo Carapato in the 16 is plus 22.
Yeah, big time movement coming from the back. Wasted no time to the front. Tony, you mentioned Christian Delgado in that Ford Mustang. There's a driver I know very well. He knows how to get around this racetrack. Very good at the tricky triangle. No surprise that he's up 18 spots already. But a couple other drivers, that one in 12th you mentioned, Edward Carpato, I mean, he's had a strong run here early too. Just outside the top 10 in that 12th place position. Up 22 spots. That is unreal.
Impressive. That is very impressive right now. And he's flirting with the top 10. But
knocking on the back door.
Absolutely, but we're going to go back up to 6. That is an absolute slugfest between Paul Witt, Jonas Gunnarsson, and Francisco Villarreal. Those guys are right on top of each other.
They're slugging it out right now in the trenches. There's the 4 of Paul Witt, just going to squeak ahead there of the 22 of Gunnarsson. They were just about 3 wide there, firing off into 1.
They were thinking about it. Luckily, wiseness prevailed, or you know what I mean. And to quote my old speech professor, if I say it wrong and you still understand what I'm saying, is it still wrong?
No, it is not wrong.
And really, Matt, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Are we talking about Jimmy Johnson in the 84 car?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the real Jimmy Johnson. But if it is, who the heck made that happen?
Well, I mean,
But
we've had NASCAR drivers show up here.
I know we have. But
You know, we've had Euro NASCAR drivers show up here and run for championships.
oh, I know we have. And that's the beauty of iRacing, right? It's the number one motorsport simulation. A lot of the professional drivers, they use this to get some seat time as it applies to real life. But how crazy is that looking at Jimmy Johnson in the 84 car? We're going to have to talk to Rhea Ferris about that one. But certainly that is blowing my mind right now as we watch Jimmy Johnson in that 17th place position.
Well, the last time I broadcast this league, when we did a full season for them, there were quite a few races where LW Wright showed up.
The LW, right?
The LW Wright showed up.
That's incredible. Talking about incredible. Look at the 11 and the 14 going at it. There's Chu going at it with Thorne. He is painted all over the back bumper of that TRD.
Actually, that's
Racing
Delgado.
Toyota.
That's Delgado painted on Chu.
Thank you. Yeah, that's Delgado painted all over Chu. Thank you, Tony, for catching that. A lot of hard racing here around that 14th place position.
As this is some of your closest battling on track, as the 16 throws his hat into the mix. Carapato got a little loose coming off a 3, and that's going to cost him as Joey Maines working on the double deuce of Gunnarsson right now. This is your slugfest for 8th.
Yeah, Maines going to the top shelf where Mama likes to hide the cookies. Get skinny. Just mere inches off the wall there. Still a drag race as we come down into the turn number 3 sector of the racetrack here. He's going to clear. I'm sorry, turn 2, go through the tunnel turn. What a corner there by the 42, Tony. Maines just set it.
And now he is by far your biggest mover at plus 25.
He doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon either. You know, speaking of not slowing down, how about Grosso? Sets the fast time on the track that last time by.
53.01 with a 3. Wow.
Absolutely blistering out here.
Over a 10th quicker than anyone else went.
Tony, we know how these races go. As we get further, into the laps, as they start to wind down, we see those maximum speeds start to register. If he turned that earlier on in this one, I'm going to say he still has some more afterburner left in that race car.
Yeah, I mean, because we know that there are drivers capable of going sub 53. And with the draft help, I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet.
And you can't ask for any more draft help as you come down that long pond. You got that 7-mile-an-hour wind, just tapping you like an aircraft out in the jet stream. That's certainly going to help the speeds on this racetrack. You're absolutely right.
As we are still watching this top 3, 4, 5, all right on top of each other. And then you got a little bit of breathing room from Francisco Villarreal in 5th. There he is at the tail end of that little freight train. And you got a little bit of separation, almost a second back to Paul Witt and Angel Hernandez. And then you got another half second between this fight. And I mean, it's an absolute brawl right now between Joey Maines in the 44 and Jonas Gunnarsson in the double deuce.
Well, Gunnarsson, he is a very, I don't want to say aggressive, but he's not going to just roll over and play dead and let you get by him on the racetrack. He's going to make you work for every single inch of it, just like Ryan Newman used to do in the Cup Series. But Maines still on a tear, up 24 spots. The first car we've seen really pose a problem getting around has been Gunnarsson, currently sitting in that 8th place position.
You're absolutely right, Matt. And, these guys, they're all friends at the end of the day, for the most part. So nobody's going to do anything malicious, especially in the early goings of these races. As here we go, Grosso and Arielson start to heat things up for 3rd. Grosso caught the wall going into the tunnel turn, Matt.
Yeah, Grosso came up, gave that outside retaining wall a high 5. I don't think he intended to do that. But look at this. Now the 54, Grosso is going to get some help there from the 91 machine. looking very SVG-like out there on the racetrack as he's currently in that 4th place position. Whoa, hold on to it. He got bad wicked loose coming off the 3, Tony. Had to chase it all the way down, almost to victory lane there.
He did. How Villarreal saved that, I have no idea. But then again,
incredible.
Matt, if you go ahead and on your end, because I'm about to do it myself, we're going to pull up what these guys are showing for licenses. Yeah, that's what I thought. Villarreal was a Black Bumper Brigade member at one time.
I'm speechless right now.
Yep, and that's why he didn't run the last season that we broadcasted for these guys. He wasn't full-time because he was running the official.
Yeah, the talent in this league is just, it's on another level, Tony. I mean, just when you peek at these high ratings from time to time, they really paint a picture of just how privileged we are to be up here in the broadcast booth, to watch them and have the best spot in the house them doing battle on the racetrack each and every week.
And I need to go double check some factoids here because we're only 3 laps away from the stage, Matt.
Yeah, when you're running these type of lap times out here, low to mid 53s, those laps are going to go by quick, fast, and in a hurry, and already working lap 27, so stage break just around the corner, as you said.
As now Angel Hernandez in the 45 trying to go after Gunnarsson. Brian Chu currently has the final spot in the top 10, and he's got a little bit of breathing room here as we are 2 to go in the stage. But going back to the 84, that is Dan Homer, Jimmy Johnson, and Christian Delgado throwing haymakers at each other right now for 12.
Yeah, these guys really haven't gotten separated from each other since the start of the green flag, other than Christian Delgado's charge to the front. But Jimmy, he has had his hands full of Homer and vice versa. This has been going outside of the top 10 virtually since the drop of the green flag. Here we go once again. Now the 10's going to take, I'm sorry, not the 10. That is the 10's going to take a peek there on the inside. Not able to complete the pass, but all over the bumper. We go further up the field here. Look at the drafting help here from the 9 and the 5 working together. What a move to the low side of the racetrack. That 5 of Hangman made it stick.
Well, I mean, you would expect that out of 2 Hendrick drivers to work well together like that.
Well, you expect them to work well together, but not that car to be able to stick. I mean, right there on the bottom of the racetrack, as well as it did with almost 30 laps on the tires. But then again, my I rating isn't 7,000 or 8,000 either, Tony.
True story. And just so you know, we're watching the battle between the 2 highest I ratings in the field. Alexander Rielton at 47.40 and Francisco Villarreal at 47.62. Unreal.
Tony, you and I tried that coming off a 3 like that. One of us would have been wadded up in the fence, but not these
Only
guys.
Only one of us? Try both of us.
There's the stage caution, I believe.
Yep.
But you're right, Tony. We both would have been out for lunch. Somewhere smoking there, just either inside or outside the the fence here on the racetrack.
Iracing, Grosso, Brostrom, Arielson, Gunnarsson, Villarreal, Witt, Hernandez, Maines, and Chu getting stage points here in stage 1. We will be right back after this. at Pocono. Marcus Hagman using a two-tire stop to take over the lead of this race. Everybody else taking 4. Your Season 3 champion, showing why he is as such. Right now, the Rostrom and Iracing going after each other. Oh, and don't look now. Here comes the double deuce of Gunnarsson. Making some headway. So 54 Grosso working on the 8 of Iracing here. Dan Homer and Joey Main starting to go after each other now. Whoa, somebody just got yeeted. That was the 8 of Iracing.
Yeah, he got yeeted coming off a tricky number 3 there, Tony. Again, great save, but he had to corral that race car as he was going towards the fence quick, fast, in a hurry. He's going to have to recover here to lose a couple spots.
He is with that. Is Jerry Parker going to get by him in the 15? Parker's another one we haven't really had a chance to talk about too much this season. One of the strong copper rookies here in this season of the iSNF Cup Series.
Yeah, Parker in that number 15. Hey, he's doing a great job here so far, Tony. That car still looking almost showroom condition there out there on the racetrack. Solid on the racetrack. Caution back out on the speedway. The 43, you can't park there. What happened?
I don't think he wanted to. He didn't have much of a choice. Well, they're 3 wide in front of him, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, that could be a telltale sign. Something went amiss.
Nope, he just stepped on his own junk. And unfortunately, took the 1 of Iskandar with him. Let's watch that again. Good old iRacing blimp providing these camera shots to you.
Live here on your SRM instant replay. 43, of course, Jagerman.
Just lost it coming off a 2 and went up right into Iskandar, and Iskandar's got a lot of right front damage on that 1 right now.
Threw a howitzer into Iskandar, and you're right, Tony. That right front definitely flapping in the breeze. Oh, and there goes the piece. More than likely, that's going to warrant a pit down road for Iskandar in the 1. He's currently being scored in that 32nd position.
And he is down pit road, unfortunately. And you can see it there. That fender's about to come off. And I don't think the left front suspension arm is still attached.
Yeah, that could be some Bluetooth suspension. And
there goes the fender.
Actually, there goes the fender.
And yes, that is Bluetooth suspension. That wheel is not even turning.
Yeah, it's bouncing like a basketball as well. Oh, yeah, that is Bluetooth 101.
And it's a rough one, too, because, I mean, Iskandar had a strong car going. He gained a few spots after qualifying. Qualifying didn't go the way he wanted to, that's for sure. As your top 4 of Hagman, Iracing, Homer, and Griffin all electing to stay out. Everybody else behind them coming down for at least fuel.
Seeing some different strategies now, Tony, starting to take shape throughout the course of this race as we're now 38 laps in, quickly approaching lap 40. You know, all these different strategies, yeah, this is probably, you know, pre-planned. They probably sat down with their notebooks open before the race and said, hey, we're going to do, you know, you have a plan A, and if it doesn't go well, you got a plan B. But right now, interested to see how this call, you know, works out for drivers like the 5 of Marcus Hagman, Daniel Homer there in the 9, is everyone behind him either has tires, and we know they put Sunoco Racing fuel in those race cars. So these guys out front are going to have to come down sooner than later.
You're right. And the other thing to keep in mind, too, is Hagman elected to pit start this event tonight. So don't let that plus 12 next to his name there in the battle box fool you. He pit started. And he's now leading the race.
Yeah, and, Tony, this is also a 2.5-mile triangle speedway here. Mm-hmm. So you're not talking a little half-mile, racetrack. No, this is super speedway distance around this racetrack. Pit starts and is currently out front against some of the best competition in the iRacing scene right now. Great job out of that driver of that 5 thus far through now 39 laps of competition. Those lights go out on the iRacing.com Ford Mustang.
Hagman elected to take the outside lane. Yes, for Iracing, who did start on pole position here tonight for Colleague. Starting to his inside here. Hagman going to have the button as we get ready to turn him loose. And we're only going to have 10 laps left in this stage, I believe. Nope, 20. 20 to go in the stage. And with a 65% fuel fill, Matt, I'm kind of second guessing right now. Some of these guys did stay out here.
Yeah, my thoughts as well, Tony. I'm not sure if they can go the distance. I mean, you're talking about going almost all the way to lap 60 here. That's a big ask, I think, for Hagman and company, the drivers that elected to stay out. Great for track position, but depending on how far they could go, knowing that there's another stage break coming, perhaps their plan is just to pit before, that stage break comes out. Everyone else comes down and boom, they're right back to where they are on the racing surface, hypothetically, if it all goes their way.
True. But your biggest mover right now is that going to be that 6 is Shane Griffin. Hold still, damn ya. There he is. For Roush Fenway Kozlowski. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Here we go.
Up 35 spots.
Up 35 spots, sitting there in 4th.
Green flag back underway, and the big movers and shakers of the race are towards the front. Hagman, as Tony mentioned, pit started this thing deep in the woods. Did you watch everyone barrel off back off to the turn number 1 complex here? The number 5 of Hagman continues to lead the 13. Whoa, the 6 there got way out of the groove. Not sure if he caught a piece of the wall, but the 11 of Brian Chew definitely did. As that Tim stack everyone up, you can see him slicing and dicing
and
towards the back of his pack.
Oh, wow.
That looks pretty big, Tony.
It is. Emily Fordrell in the 99 catching a piece of it. The 38 of Van Maastricht catching another piece of something.
And there's just a random front clip of a Camaro laying out there on the racing surface. That's always good.
Now let's take a look at what happened here. Charles Robertson is the one that popped up first as being involved. So the 20, he's going to send it. It looks like it happens in front of him, though. Oh, no, it didn't. What happened? Oh, my God.
Can you pass the Grey Poupon, please?
So the 20's trying to waste no time getting up there. But watch what happened to the boss lady.
Yeah, talking about the 12 there, Rhea Ferris.
Good grief. And let's go back and take a look at what did happen with Emily here. And on a side note, the driver of the 99 is the wife of the driver of the number 3. Okay, so that started with the 36 getting a little loose coming through 1. They were trying to not hit anybody, and then unfortunately Emily had to take evasive action. The 20 was coming. It's standard physics, folks. Two solid objects cannot occupy the same moment of the same space-time continuum.
The space-time continuum, if you're a fan of Back to the Future.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Emily there. Like you said, Tony, they can't occupy the same spot. She noticed there was a problem, tried to get up out of the way, but
oh yeah,
just a big group of race cars there, all fighting hard, and it's unfortunate. But especially for drivers like Rhea Ferris, they got some extended repair service on their race car here. You see her in the pits right now, getting service on that number 12 Penske Ford.
Yeah, that was a rough one there. Because she had a solid run going. She was flirting with the top 10 at the time.
It had a great run going in that race car. Looked like it was really hooked up out there on the racetrack. Seemed like she was racy, having a great time, and then disaster struck, and hopefully the car's still driving pretty good once she gets those repairs made to that number 12 machine, because having a great run in the early going, but now being scored just inside the top, just outside the top 30, now being shown in that 30th position.
Right. And our biggest movers right now are going to start right next to each other. There's Isaac Wilson, who's plus 24. And, oh, by the way, there's Joey Maines, who's plus 26.
Yeah, I'd say the 42 gets my Mr. Excitement Award of the day so far. He has been thrilling just to watch vibe through the field, as he's now in that 7th place position. But can't forget about Wilson either. The 62, as you mentioned, Tony, they're stacked right on top of each other. He's up 24 spots, and he's saying, hey, Maines, if you can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, why not? They're both running Chevys. One's for Legacy, the other for Beard.
Yeah. The way that the aero is set up on these Chevys just seems to really suit this racetrack, at least from a manufacturer's perspective. And it's no surprise they're owning the top spots right now, Tony. Positions 1 through 4, all Chevrolets. You got to get to the first Ford in line in 5th, and that's Gunnarsson.
And look who's starting right next to him, your highest running Yoda, in the form of Brian Chu.
Mr. Restrictor Plate.
Exactly. The track distance is to his liking. It's just the whole having to lift going the corners, not so much.
Well, this is true, but the draft does come into play here. No surprise, the 11 is in the conversation. He's got a solid run going as well.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we used to do a Friday Super Speedway League that Brian showed up and won his first race there.
Gotcha. I didn't know. So he got his first official win in plate configuration as well.
No, this is a Friday league that we used to broadcast.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I got you, Tony.
First time out with that league at Talladega, and he comes home with a victory.
Oh, walk-off win. Gotta love that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go out on that iRacing.com pace car. It's going to make that hard turn down pit road. That's going to give Marcus Hagren and Iracing the front row here, and the 5 is going to stand on it. Puts it through the floorboards, Tony. The 13's not Gilden, though. It's a side-by-side John Ford special as we fly off down to run. As everyone's racked and stacked. No one really kind of fans on the line. Does a crazy snake there. Everyone stays 2 by 2.
Now, here's the other thing to be mindful of, Matt. It's only in this particular league that those 4 guys that are leading this piece don't drive for the same team. In every other league that they participate in together, those guys are all on Team Alcantara.
That's some really good information there, Tony. I was not aware of that. But, you know, if they all race on the same team, you know, certainly they're going to help each other out here, regardless of, you know, their political stance in this league, per se. But Yellow back out on the racetrack once again. We're now working lap 44. That's going to check check the action down one more time here, bring us back down to pace speed.
What happened with... Oh, no, it was not Paul Witt. It was Paul Wilson. Ooh.
That's going to be the 34.
He has hit something. Let's find out what it was.
Let's Batman.
Car high, bud. Looks like he just tried to clear himself on the 14, but he wasn't anywhere near clear.
It could have been some miscommunication there. Perhaps he misunderstood the spotter, or the spotter just got it wrong. But you're right, Tony, just was not clear, thought he was, and a little metal-to-metal contact will certainly do that, especially at these speeds.
Absolutely. So Wilson out of St. George, Utah, going to have to spend an extended amount of time getting that car fixed. And let's just double check to see what 6 cautions so far. We average 9, so not too shabby. And we're still 5 laps away from stage 2 being in the books.
Right, so we're trending right on average.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of these guys that stayed out, wonder if it's now time for them to come in, perhaps. You know, talking about Marcus Hagman and others here that didn't pit.
I'm going to say no.
We're going to find out exactly.
At least for Iracing, Hagman, and Homer. Those 3 guys stayed out.
Yeah, they certainly did, Tony. And really get a good idea of how far they can go on this Tank and Go Fast here is, remember, we got to get, I think, to lap 59 for the stage.
Right.
And that 5, he has been out there, feels like an eternity on a 65% fuel payload. They're not getting the whole 100% here.
Well, the only thing that's helping those guys right now is the fact that we have gotten cautions.
Yeah, that perhaps the saving grace here is, that could help them go the distance, perhaps.
It'll still take yeoman's work to do it. Now, one guy that doesn't have to worry about fuel mileage right now is the 3 of Linus Brostrom. He did come down under the previous caution on lap 37, whereas Iracing, your leader, Hagman, and Dan Homer back there in 4th, those guys haven't seen the pit road since the stage caution.
Looking for the lights to go out on the pace car this time by. Want to thank everyone for joining us here live on SRM. Thinking about joining the family? It's simple. Smash the like button, ring the bell, come home to 7 days of high-flying racing action on your simulation esports racing leader right here, only on SRM.
Lights are out on the pace car. Iracing and Hagman are going to lead us back to green. And the thing to keep in mind is Hagman and Homer, they're both running for Hendrick here in this league.
Yeah, they all fight for the same team here on Saturday nights in prime time, Tony Trapasso. But as you mentioned, other places, not the story. But tonight, hey, they're doing a great job being teammates. We've seen the give and take earlier on. Clearly, they're working together. They're doing a great job of keeping themselves up towards the front of this piece. Let's see if that continues over the remainder of this race. But so far, I mean, job well done, doing everything they can out there on the racetrack and executing at a high level.
You're absolutely correct, Matt. And I can tell you from experience that if you run endurance races with a group of guys like those four men do, you learn their driving style. You learn what they're going to do in the car to the point where you pretty much can guess what they're going to do before they do it and be right 99% of the time.
Yeah, you get those reps. You get all that seat time on that on the track time together, and you're right. You can usually guess what the other one's going to do before they do it.
Pace car is in. Iracing brings him into the Geico restart zone one more time. Jumps on the loud pedal, and here we go, back underway. Grostrom going to slot into second. Hagman going to follow him through. Homer, almost contact going into one. Because right now, Brian Chu and Jonas Gunnarsson are all over each other. And, oh, by the way, Gunnarsson's also an endurance teammate with those guys. So your top five right now all run for the same endurance racing team in iRacing. GT3 stuff and prototypes and whatnot. Gunnarsson to the inside of Homer, coming through three. Hey, how about that? We got a lap in the books under green flag action, Matt. Back in here with Jeff Weimer. Oh!
That was some contact, little pushing and shoving. Look at the cars having a dip, duck, dive, and dodge. Is that checked everybody up? We're 4 wide.
Wisely, some guys backing out of it, going into the tunnel turn, because the last thing you want to do is go 3 wide into that, let alone 4.
I am thoroughly impressed, Tony. They got that sorted up. When I seen that taking shape, as Dave Regal would say, the diamond formation, I got worried. Whoa! Oh, the 51's in a mad power slide. Did he save it? We're going to have to go back and check it out. But, Tony, as I was saying, I'm impressed.
He saved it, but he went down pit road to do it.
Oh, that might get him a speeding penalty. Hopefully that's not the case. The 7 as well is going to come down pit road. Tense moments there for William Britton in the 51. As I thought he may have caught the barrels, but he just must have barely missed him. We stay green out here from Long Pond, California.
Say that to anybody from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to their face. I guarantee you they're going to hurt you.
That's going to be a slap, and I deserve it for that one. How in the world did I conjure that one up? I'm not sure.
Probably the fact that Isaac Wilson, who is one of your biggest movers right now at plus 22, is from Shelton, Washington.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest representing well here today.
Let's take a look at this battle going on right now between Gunnarsson and Homer. Oh, crap.
And just like that, caution rules once again. Oh, the 67, Tony, is not rolling.
No, he's not. Let's take a look at what did happen to the 67 here. There you see him up towards that little grouping.
Yeah, that's not a good sign where I think he hit. I mean, he's right there on an access.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what happened. Let's watch this again.
Little Code Brown moment there at minimum.
So the 19's going to get loose. There. Stanley backed out of it and just got torpedoed.
Absolutely destroyed.
Good grief.
When you hit someone like that, it's got to go somewhere. And unfortunately, in the case of the 67, Thomas Stanley, we now see him.
He shortened that car up by a good 2 feet.
Yeah, easily. That thing it just got absolutely peppered. That's going to need all the coffee beans out there over the wall to get that thing back into race contention.
Well, Matt, look where he's from. He is from Buffalo, just Illinois.
Close, but not the same.
True story.
Get ever so closer to our second stage break, that coming lap 59 here. This, of course, the iSNF Cup Series live in primetime from Pocono, Pennsylvania. One of my favorite racetracks on the circuit. And Tony, when I first started iRacing, I didn't like this racetrack, but I've grown to love it and appreciate it over the years. And it's one of my favorites. There's nothing like sending it into turn 2 when you can go in there, just the back of your hair standing up on the back of your neck, and you hit the bottom and you rip the corner and you carry all that momentum off. It never gets old.
See, Matt, I'm just the opposite. I learned to hate this track when I hated this track when I first started in iRacing, and I grew to hate it even more as my iRacing driver career went on.
Once I figured out turn 2, and I never brag about my iRacing skills. They're not that good. They're good enough, but they're not that good. But there's something about turn 2 that just clicks well with me. You can even ask Chris Claude over there on the Sunday Night NASCAR side. I can send it through turn 2 like no one's business, and I just makes me love the racetrack. Turn 3, I'm not that good at. If I could figure out turn 3, I might be scary here.
Turn 3 and I have a hate-hate relationship. I hate it, and it has never shown me any love. So, I told you about the last race I actually drove in here, right?
Oh yeah.
I bounced it off the outside retaining wall coming off the 3, and rail slid pit wall, hit the timing tower, and the car launched into the atmosphere. I ended up somewhere in J section of the turn 1 parking lot.
Well, Tony, hashtag wild ride. That would make me hate turn number 3 too. I'm not a fan of it for simulation purposes. Never actually been out on the racing surface here, but would love if I had the opportunity. So
No. This was in the simulator.
Oh, it was in the simulator.
Yeah. I've never actually got a chance to turn a lap here in real life yet.
But still, I mean, that would, make me a little distasteful towards this place too. I get it. It's when things usually go bad for me here in iRacing, it's 90% of the time it's associated with turn 3.
Except for Friday night. Then it was turn 1.
That was actually on the final lap, if you remember. Coming off the 3, I caught a piece, and then I absolutely got destroyed coming to the start-finish line.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And for those of you wondering what we're talking about, you need to go back and take a look at Friday night's race from the Monsters of Speed New Gen Cup Series.
Absolutely.
as the guys who started on the front row here tonight are going to still be on the front row. Brostrom and Iracing starting right door to door with each other again.
Shades of the initial start of this race.
Just in opposite lanes from each other as the pace car is in. Into that restart zone we go. Brostrom jumps on the loud pedal as the 22 of Gunderson gives Iracing a shot.
Yeah, Iracing backed right up to the bumper, throws his hand out the window and says, "Give me a push, buddy." But still wasn't enough as Brostrom was ready for it. Comes up, takes the a little bit of the energy from the top line there and sets him up for a beautiful entry into one.
Oh!
Oh! Someone got their face taken off. I think that was the 4 of Paul Witt. Oh, yeah, he's got big-time damage. The 10, another Stewart hot car involved. What in the world? That 10 is all shook up.
He is. We're going to go back and look.
That's Delgado in the 10, and he just has a meeting of the minds with the 15, comes across the... Oh, that's a face peeler. Absolutely heartbreaking. But, Tony, this is a byproduct of Pocono.
It is. Oh, that's why he had contact with the 15.
Yeah, they had the meeting of the minds, and then the 10 came, brought the drapes down right over the 4.
Yeah, Paul Witt had absolutely nowhere to go.
He had nothing he could do. He probably didn't even realize he was in it or going to be in it until the initial contact. Is that car, I guarantee you, just came out of nowhere and blindsided him right to the front of that Ford Mustang.
And we're still not to the stage caution.
We were talking about, these guys that stayed out way back at the end of stage 1 there, talking about the 5, of course, and others. Brostrom, I believe, as well.
No, he was 37.
Or he was 37, thank you, Tony. Iracing, all these cautions, all that's doing is playing right into their wheelhouse there. This is, if they thought this was going to happen or if they predicted this, they're looking like, Houdini out there right now on the racetrack. Because even with that 65% payload, all these cautions are helping them go the distance of stage 2.
Brian Chu brings it pit side. So does Joey Maines. They're going to give up stage points for track position.
Yeah, look at it like this, Tony. It's great to win stages. That helps you with the points. But if you want to talk to the guys up in the broadcast booth, if you want the checkered flag, if you want the dub, that all depends on who's leading the last lap, the first man or woman across that start-finish line. And that's what they're clearly gaming for. And I always like it when you go for a win. That's just me, though.
Absolutely. It looks like the 20 just got one of his laps back. Yep, Charles Robertson now being our 28th driver on the lead lap.
I believe Rhea Ferris back on the lead lap as well.
Yes. She never actually went a lap down.
Oh, I thought she had, thank you, Tony. I thought she had went a lap down when she got caught in Calamity Corner there.
Nope, she just pit farmed the daylights out of the 12.
Well executed then by the 12, being able to stay on the lead lap there.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, she's still pit farming that car.
I admire the effort, Tony. We've seen this in other leagues, and you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Just that drive, that determination to not give up, that no quit. And how many times have we seen it pay off for him?
Quite a few. The biggest mover is back here in the 16. Eduardo Carapato currently sits plus 22 in 12th.
Yeah, Carapato is absolutely taking great care of that race car as well, while being one of the biggest movers out there on the racetrack, Tony. Having a great run just outside that top 10. Literally knocking on the back door.
Or another contingent of that very strong colleague racing contingent here in iSNF. Brostrom going to have the button, though, when we go back to green flag action. And look at that. We're going to get a green-white checker for the stage caution. We're talking about Carapato being plus 22. We can't not mention Jerry Parker, who's plus 16, starting up there as the final spot in the top 10. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Brostrom with the button. As there goes the pace car, here comes the field into the Geico restart zone, and here we go, back to green flag action. Three wide for fifth. Angel Hernandez on the high side right now, holding down the fifth position. Josh Grosso running door to door with Dan Homer right behind him. Brostrom and Iracing now battling for the race for the stage win. Brostrom able to keep his foot in on the high side. Everybody leaning on each other.
Oh,
now,
what a block. Not to cut you off there, Tony, but he sniffed Gunnarsson coming up top. Just moved that car up there. I thought Gunnarsson was going to maybe give him a little love tap, but he didn't. Takes it down to the bottom. That'd be why. Okay.
Brostrom, Gunnarsson, Iracing, Hernandez, Grosso, Homer, Arilton, Hagman, Parker, and McCauley getting your stage points here for stage 2. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you. That was interesting. Well, the guys that stayed out, they had enough, so based on the amount of caution laps, then yeah, after like 2 cautions, they all had enough, unfortunately. Now it worked out anyway. But yeah, I was hoping for a bit more green flag running, so I had like 7 or 8 laps of fuel left in the tank in the end. But you know, want to play it safe to not give up too much and run out of fuel or have to pit with 2 laps to go. So that's why we pitted back then. Thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to Liz for joining us here up in the SRM booth. And Tony, I like his strategy. That 3 car has been one of the stars of the field today, but now he's mired a little bit back in traffic. That dirty air often sometimes can wreak havoc with these drivers. Let's see if he's able to drive it back on up there as those lights are out on the pace car. Hello, Bob, the silent assassin. He is doing it again. In the top 5 right now, having a great run. Pace car is going to pull off here. That's going to give Isaac Wilson the button. Green flag back in the air, and these V8s bring out to the glorious 9,000 RPM red line. Look at the move by Maines. He got second. He's going for the lead. The block by Wilson's going to keep him in tow. Everyone single file, top 2, top 3. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. That is so weird to say. What a move. They got him in the right car, and that looked like a Jimmy Johnson move. At Pocono, as he pushed the 42 of Maines to the lead, that was brilliant. And now Jimmy Johnson says, hey, thanks for the push. Or says, hey, 42, this is where I break off, and I'm going to slingshot you. Jimmy Johnson to the lead at Pocono coming off a 3. Whoa, just as you say that, Gunnarsson with a power move. He almost went for a twofer and got it. And Gunnarsson, just as methodically as the 42 of Maines and Jimmy Johnson worked their way to the front, Gunnarsson flashing some flex of his own as he goes to the point. Caution. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I seen that either, Tony, but that yellow flag is going to back up and validate that. Sometimes all you can do in those situations, Tony, is guess and 50-50 gamble, and for Wilson, he went the wrong way. And then came Wilson. The other thing is, Tony, we're starting to lose some of that sunlight out there on the racetrack. You know, as it's after 7 p.m. sim time, now working 1923. No lights around this facility here. The good news is it's helping that track temperature. That keeps coming down, down, down as that track temp now 75 degrees. Some of the coolest track temps I've seen in a long time. The problem is if we keep having these cautions, you know, how dark exactly is it going to get? Well, that is right. The other side of the laps, if we didn't make the distance, we do have that timer, which can come into play. Scheduled distance here, 100 laps around this 2.50 racing facility here at Long Pond, Pennsylvania. No, we should have plenty of time to get it in. If you can see the sunset reflecting off the racing surface, I know that's going to be changing the way this track's going to grip up tremendously here. And if we keep having these cautions, you know, could that quickly changing track surface come into play here? You know, that too, Tony. Hopefully these drivers, these teams are keeping up with it. That's the main reason why I was starting to bring up the that point. Because we know 2 tires will loosen you up. Story is we've seen that for a bunch of drivers. That's been Calamity Corner. A couple guys had some wild rides down pit road. Lights out on the pace card coming around turn 3. What turn 4? That's right, only 3 turns here in Pocono, Pennsylvania. iRacing.com pace car pulls off. Gunnarsson, he's going to have the command of fire here, and he sends the cannons. As he leads the charge, gets a great restart there over Jimmy Johnson and Maines. And here comes Johnson on the top side. Look at Maines firing off on the bottom. Hopefully you don't have a meeting of the minds. They keep it off each other. It was trending that way. 45 of Hernandez, he's caught to the back of Johnson. They're going to work together, as is the 62 of Wilson working with the 42. Oh, Johnson caught a tap. Oh, he returns the favor. Oh, the big one breaks down at Pocono as it's a 5-alarm fire. Tony, we're still spinning. That did not take long. As all hell is breaking loose over the airwaves right now. And rightfully so, I get it. Get a wreck race car. That was like the 495 in rush hour traffic around Washington, D.C. And cars just spinning everywhere. You know, when I saw where that contact happened, Tony, I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't think it would be that bad. Yeah, we missed the heat-sinking missile. Yeah, you're right, that was, well, like you said, a torpedo. And somebody just got the DQ award. I believe that was off contact from the 8 that DQ'd him. I think we've hit that boiling point, Tony, where things are just starting to break down. Everyone just needs to get a breath, you know, pull those belts tight one more time, have their spotters, crew chiefs get back on the radio, get their drivers, you know, refocus back in the race, if you will. Back here to the SRM instant replay. Started doing the truffle shuffle and the fuse got lit and boom goes the dynamite. Yeah, as the 8 continues to go backward into the turn 3 sector. "29 laps remaining in competition. I believe that was the torpedo, as you put it, the last caution, Tony. Oh, he just takes his grill out, hard impact there to the fence there, and yeah, what happened to? I'm stifled. What happened to Jerry Parker? Hello. As we went to the blimp there momentarily, a beautiful sunset taking shape up over the Pocono Mountains, Tony. They say red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. No, everything was, as far as caution goes, we were trending right on track there. We were actually below the average, and then getting towards the end there of, the middle of stage 2 and onward from there, it is, things have just started to boil over. As we've had incident after incident out there on the racetrack. Some of them have been byproduct of these Pocono-type restarts and perhaps give and take and patience not being utilized as well as they could be or should be. But nonetheless, for it all, as you continue to see the reflection of the sunset going down here in the hills, Iracing and Gunnarsson, they're going to be on the front row here. That 22 Pennzoil car, I was in that ride last week at Watkins Glen, brought me home to a top 20. Thanks to Rhea Ferris for putting me in that car. I had a great time being out there with these boys and girls last week. But he's got that thing on the point. Yes, sir. Last week at Watkins Glen, brought it home to an 18th place finish, which ain't too shabby for me on a road course. Had a lot of fun. Go ahead. Yeah, speaking of Gunnarsson, and that's the wild card. That's the joker, Tony. All these guys and girls some of them are gonna have to come back down pit road again. But does anyone have anything for Gunnarsson? I think Iracing does, as we get ready to go back live underway here. Green flag back in the air, green condition on the racetrack. Another brilliant restart for Gunnarsson. Is there 2 by 1? Oh, there we go. Someone is swerving and whirving, and the 42 just goes Captain Crunch and does a keg stand. The biggest mover of the race in one of the most dynamic cars in competition. It goes all wrong on the restart, and that car is absolutely smoked, Tony. Yeah, you could see by the way that Maine's car reacted there in the 42 in that DeWalt sponsored race car disappearing off the racetrack. That's netcode 101. You're absolutely right, Tony. Unfortunately, Maine's is massacred. That car is completely missing the front clip, and it is smoking like a chimney as it's now on pit road being serviced. And for all you know, this is true, but that is absolutely gut-wrenching for Maine's. Is he was probably one of the most, dynamic drivers out there in the field today. Biggest mover at times, was putting on a show. And just so unfortunate for him to get pretty much taken out of contention like that. But unfortunately, that's the byproduct of sim racing. Not of the driver's fault either. You have no, control over when you're going to flash and blink. Just wrong place at the right time, and very unfortunate situation for the 42. Now Gunnarson's going to have to put together one of these masterful restarts. He's going to have to contend with Hernandez and Iracing. Bolstrom getting back into the picture there as well, as he's going to restart in that fourth place position. Continues now to get darker here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. Sim time quickly approaching that 8 o'clock hour. It's got about 15 minutes until 8 p.m. Eastern time here in the sim. Yes, sir, that is correct. Yeah, either do I. At least I don't think so, because I was playing with that earlier today. I want to thank everyone for joining us here live on SRM. I'm Matt Mettler. He's Tony Trupasso. And duking it out on the racetrack, well, that is no one other than the iSNF Cup Series. And it has served up a little bit of everything here today from the tricky triangle here at Pocono. We've had the drama. We've had some insane drives from deep in the field, Tony. Some of these competitors even pit starting. And we've had the heartbreak from being at the wrong place at the right time as well. As we're currently working lap 79, approaching 20 laps to go. Yeah, if we can just get a clean restart here, everyone settle down for a little bit. Let's just get everyone, back into that groove, into that vibe here out there on the racetrack, and then unleash all-out warfare. That might be a little bit of a better way to do it, as that pace car pulls off one more time. Gunnarsson gonna have the button. He arms the cannons and fires that 22 off. Another great restart for the driver of the 22, but here comes Hernandez in the Beast Monster, number 45. It's getting good in the neighborhood just behind the 45 rod as they're 2x2 into number 1. If they just came out with it, Tony, and not that I'm a big drinker, I decided to get one. And it tasted so much like the real Monster, you couldn't even tell there was a little extra bonus in there. That makes 2 of us. .77 slide up in front of the, there it is. Driver that was having a pretty darn good race disqualified there. He got the DQ award. And I don't think much of that was of his own doing either, Tony. Another classic example of, and I hate to use this again, but that's exactly what it is. Wrong place at the right time. And at this time, it's, taking Jimmy Johnson out of the race. The 84 was having a great run here. It's funny how, with the beauty of instant replay, Tony, you may see something some way the first time from one camera angle, but with all the different camera options we have available, we can really dissect what happens, and paint a better picture, and get a more in-depth understanding. Yeah, well said, Tony. Victim of circumstance. I can't think of a better way to say that. You can now see the headlights are on that pace car. Sign that we're losing just about all the available daylight here from Pocono, Pennsylvania. That pace car may have lights, but these next-gen NASCAR Winston Cup, or I shouldn't say Winston Cup, these Cup cars, Tony Trapasso, they don't have headlights. No, it is. And I know from experience, when those lights go on the pace car in a oval track configuration here, where you don't have lights, you're getting down to the skinny. I forgot that, but you are right, Tony. Rockingham does not have lights. We're still out there getting it, though, huh? Oh, my God. You were probably hotter than a $3 pistol. I was that folks, that's really tested Tony if you make him say that. Get him to that point, you may as well make history. Here we go again, one more time. Gunnarsson has it reloaded. He fires off once more. Does not get away as good as he has in the past. Here comes that outside lane. A couple of Toyotas teamed up on the high side here. Let's see if Hernandez... No, the Gunnarsson comes up and takes the momentum. He's going to basically use the 45, roll off his momentum, keep that car out front. The 22 continues to lead, carry the torch as they come through the turns. One complex, and someone came sideways off the corner. What a save back there. Not sure who it was, but we remain under green flag conditions here. Now coming through the tunnel turn, Tony. Yeah, Brian Treadwell in that number 50 Chevrolet ZL1 Camaro, having a great strong run here as of late, using all these restarts to his advantage. Here comes the 48 of Kenneth Terr underneath on the bottom here, 2x2. The top lane should prevail, though, as he has some drafting help, and now the 13 bails on the 50. He's going to go for two here, getting down into the tunnel turn. He's going to make the pass. Oh, we got contact. There they go. Yeah, exactly. In the words of Phil Collins, you could feel it coming in the air tonight. Iracing went Shifty McGee mode there, and it just uncorked everyone just behind him. Treadwell involved there just as we were highlighting him. Great display of how to use the draft, though, from Iracing. Right. I mean, she's the HMF IC of this league. Works so hard each and every week. And Tony, we both know this is not the end result. This is not the type of product that she prides herself in, so much. And unfortunately, not, the end result she's looking for here on the racetrack, especially from about the halfway point of this race. But you know what, Tony? That's racing. I mean, some days it goes just planned, and other days, in spite of your best effort, you can't control what 42 other competitors are doing out there on the racing surface. Weimer is currently up 12 spots right now. He's in that inside the top 5 in that third place position. And the other big mover of the race here, inside the top 10 at least, is going to be the 21 there of Chris Smith. He's up 15 spots inside the top 10 in that 7th position. Yeah, I've drove Route 64 a lot, actually, back in the day. On through. I knew you were going to go there. You also have a Lancaster, New York, just outside of Buffalo. Yes, sir. In fact, when you're on the 90, you go right past the starting lane or the staging lane right there. I remember when I was younger, they used to have the jet cars there quite frequently. And if you caught a road trip or a reason to go on the 90 at the right time, it looked like a military aircraft hitting the afterburner and just taking off. Well, I'll give you one, Tony. Turn 2 after the short shoot at Indianapolis. one of the tracks I think is no longer in service. Gunnarsson with the flex again as he starts to do the Indy snake. Speaking of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, trying to break the draft over the 45 of Hernandez. Continues to have success here as he's clutching, holding on to that clean air for everything that he has. The only problem is he's got two Toyotas that are coming quick, fast, and in a hurry of Hernandez and Grosso. No, are you kidding me? Reimer gets rocked. He gets spun down into the inside retaining wall. Caution out on the racetrack. And Tony, you were just talking about the Penske sandwich. Those cars having a great run up until now. Yeah, he just... Unreal. Reimer having such a good run here at Pocono in the 2. In the blink of an eye, Tony, that goes up in smoke. Composed of Goodyear Eagles screeching through the heavens. He had that car locked down on his uncontrolled spin towards the inside retaining wall off the nose of that ZL1 Camaro. He didn't flinch. Sometimes these corners here, you like to arc them in, to start this next gen car, to get it to rotate. You call it a wheel flick, I think, Tony. A Scandinavian flick, thank you. Perhaps maybe that's what the 8 was dialing up and misjudged it. And I do. And he has some time here to recover, but not the run he had just moments ago. Do you see him now in his pit stall? Fresh Goodyears going on that race car. Yeah, we're starting to have a hard time seeing these race cars, Tony. Yeah, they have better visibility than what we got up in the broadcast booth, that's for sure. But interested to see what it looks like when you lose the headlights off of that Ford Mustang when he ducks off down pit road here. Or there you go, looking out the back. Yeah, there is some ambient lighting, but very little. Is 7 laps left to go here in scheduled competition. You would think race control probably having a discussion about that internally, or I would assume at this point in time, is just look at how pronounced the headlights are on that pace car. As the track temp at an all-time low in my broadcast career, Tony, 74 degrees is the track temp. Yeah, Pocono, Watkins Glen's your home track, as was mine. I was from further western New York, but it was about a 4-hour car ride from me to Pocono, and then about a 3.5-hour ride, about 3-hour ride to Watkins Glen. Yes, sir, that's correct. Route 219. Fun route to drive on, too, especially if you like getting it in the hills a little bit. Oh, my. Hey, you got to have some fun, I guess, right? Back underway, and thank God for that bright yellow on that number 22 Penske Ford Mustang, because that is how I'm able to see him right now. I believe that's the 45 on the outside of Hernandez. The 45, I believe, gets the lead, but Gunnarsson looks to cross him over as they're doing the Jake going into the tunnel turn. Gunnarsson's going to take it to the high side of the racetrack. Now he's going to come under siege from perhaps Grosso. Gunnarsson with a beautiful turn 2. He's going back for the lead. Careful, boys, careful. It's treacherous turn 3. Masterful job. They both going to get off. It's a side-by-side drag race. Who does the 54 help? Nobody. As now he comes... Caution is out on the racetrack once again, and this flag could end the race. That might have did it. Oh my! Well, Tony, unfortunately, it's been a race, composed and comprised of events just like that, unfortunately, at least, through about the halfway portion. I believe Britt is well involved here. Oh my God. And visibility becoming a problem too, probably didn't see that as soon as they could have if they had more daylight to work with, but still. You could see at the last minute the 6 and the 12 react, but by that time it was too late. The track and is the 12 and the 6 in the mashed potatoes. Let's. Hey, the good news is I can see the Jumbotron from here, Tony. Is I hopped up to the blimp and you can barely make out these cars going into turns 1. I mean, you really can't even tell there's cars out there on the racetrack as I'm above the tunnel turn and they're about halfway down. That's just how dark it gets up in here in the mountains. Not a lot of, street lights and city lights. And, I mean, my goodness, look how bright those lights are on the pace car. What's that song, This Little Light of Mine? That's odd. I love how the 45 is up there using the headlights as if they were his own. Yep, lap 99. It's going to be a one-lap shootout for all the beef brisket in Pennsylvania. Actually, I'm getting some communication here from Rhea Ferris herself. Tony, please hold. Yes, the race was called off at the moment the last wreck came out. Caution came out, lap 93 or so. We are just pacing it because we cannot advance it to the checkered. So that makes sense. Okay, Tony. So a safety concern out there on the racetrack. Darkness has set in. So I believe this means the field is frozen, and we're just going to run these laps out because Rhea cannot manually throw the checkered flag. Well, we'll see how this plays out here as, Rhea is strongly saying one thing, and I know the drivers are doing something else right now. This could be for fun. Maybe it's not. Oh, look at the sparks flying. That was cool. Okay, so the race is officially not being scored. This is for just guts, fun, and glory, Tony. Rhea's going to get us the podium finishers here shortly as we get to watch some night racing. Oh, look at, that's not good. Holy Toledo. Oh. And that was the grand finale. I've never seen car sparks look like something that you would buy at Phantom Fireworks. As a little fun run there as the 45 comes up and karate kicks the wall again. Now he thought he was going to send it down to the inside just to even it out. I think we're going back to a replay here. Yeah. Thank God this wasn't in real life, but then again, NASCAR wouldn't let him run. And basically, darkness conditions, but still, that was an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony Trapazzo. I believe I got Gunnarsson up here with us in the booth.
Yeah, you have.
Hey, congratulations, man. Caught me a little off guard there as you're watching you guys racing in pure darkness. But, man, you're able to go out there, get the win in that number 22, Penske Ford. Describe to me how it was out there on the racetrack, man. It seemed like you really had to work for it and earn this one.
Yeah, I don't remember the whole race really because it was the only thing I remember was the last couple of laps where it was pitch black. Didn't see anything of the track the last lap, really. But I think they called it earlier.
Yeah, they did. Rhea Farah's getting some word up to here in the booth that they actually called it, I believe, shortly after lap 93. And, you mentioned you couldn't see anything out there on the racetrack. Tony and I could barely see anything up here in the booth. It was definitely a first for me. I don't know if it was a first for you, but, man, congratulations on a job well done here at Pocono. What does this do for your team now moving forward after getting the win here today?
Yeah, it feels great. I don't really know how the standings are for the team, but I think we're P1 or P2 in the standings, so that's great.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come out with a victory here at the Tricky Triangle and you're high up in the point standings. Everything going good for you guys right now in your team. Before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank? Who helps you get it done on the 22?
Yeah, the whole team. Jeff, Rhea, all the guys in the team really. It was
Well, there he is,
great.
ladies and gentlemen. Not afraid to pull out the 50 cals and the big gun, that Jonas Gunnarsson, driver of the number 22 Penske Ford. He's your winner here from Pocono. Tony Trapasso, back to you, sir.
Hey. I think I've just ran here good the past couple races, sorry. If it's been this league or just in other leagues, I think naturally, I guess, it fits me. But yeah, overall, I think I did pretty decent for the whole entire race. I think just our alliance with Joe Gibbs. I know Josh was helping me out with pushes during some of those runs whenever he could. And then we tried working together, but obviously it was more of a race to the caution than a race to the finish. Thanks.
Hello.
Hey, man, how's it going? Tony and Matt up in the booth, able to bring that car home third place today, but it wasn't easy. Describe that race from your view in the cockpit. How treacherous was it out there at times for you?
Yeah, it was pretty difficult. It was back and forth because I got caught up in a couple of things, had a long pit stop. It wasn't the most fun race in the world, but getting P3 in the end ain't bad.
Can't argue with a podium finish there, Josh. Talk to me about pit strategy here and tire fall off. Was that ever a factor for you at any point in time? And, how did you go about deciding, when to pit and when not to pit?
For the last stop, I thought I'd gotten damaged, so I pitted a bit early, and I was able to save with all the cautions. So if it would have theoretically gone green, I would have been good. I think there were other people that didn't pit when I did.
Yeah, there was a point in time where Tony and I were trying to figure out who was going to be good and who could make it and who couldn't. And I believe you're one of the ones that could. That's why I asked you the question here. But nonetheless, what a performance here. And I got to ask you, what was it like driving out there with just about no daylight out there on the racetrack? I mean, was it as intense as it looked like it was up here in the booth?
It was fine until the last couple laps after it got called. Like the last lap, I couldn't see going into turn 3, but the rest of the race, it was fine. I could see mostly.
Got a little bit of everything thrown at you guys today here from the 2.5 mile mega house here in the Pocono Mountains. Josh, congratulations on a great run. Before we cut you loose, let you go celebrate this third place win with your team. Who do you want to thank who gets it done? Who helps you get it done on that 54?
My whole team, obviously. The whole JGR circle. Brian, Charles, a couple of drivers couldn't be here, but Thomas, Michael, Gervy, and Angel, that were all there. Just kind of hanging out with them throughout the whole race. Helped make it a little bit less boring.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. He comes home third, putting that Toyota Power on full display. TRD in the house. Brings it home third. That is Joshua Grosso, driver of the number 54 TRD Toyota. Tony Trapasso, back to you. And 16th, Jeff Weimer, Kenneth Tier, Hikio Mueller, Shane Griffin, Jerry Parker, Chris Delgado, Bob Wyckoff, Rhea Ferris, William Britton, Mike Iskander around on the top 25. Eric Michelle, Thomas Stanley, Paul Wilson, Michael Gervey, Jimmy Johnson. Let's see here. Joey Maines, Mr. Robertson, Chris Vent around the top 33. Scroll down here one more time and bring you the final results here from Pocono. In 35th, that's Paul Witt. I believe that's Emily. Tony, how do you say her last name, please? Figrell, thank you. In 36th, 37th is Danny Solo. Jack Yergerman comes home 38th. 39th. If you can help me out with that name too as well there too. Francisco Villarreal, going to work on that. Thank you, Tony. And 40th, that's Jason Boyer. 41st belongs to Jasper Erickson. Lenny Schnebel in 42nd. And that's the 42 drivers that started here from Pocono, Pennsylvania, here tonight, Tony.